I was so terrified to walk on the street. You might even get side-eyed. I have made my share of cultural mistakes. It was a true cultural shock for me. Welcome everyone to the vibrant city of Hong Kong. I'm 𝙃𝙤𝙣𝙜, your guide on this exciting journey to explore the rich tapestry of Hong Kong's work culture. I have called this beautiful city home since I was a young child, and I can't wait to share my insights with you. Now, a glimpse into my story. I have a unique cultural background. I'm half Dutch from my father's side and half Shanghainese from my mother's side. I came to Hong Kong at a very young age of 3 from my birthplace, Malaysia. My professional journey has taken me through various organizations in Hong Kong, from multinational corporations and startups to a TV conglomerate. For the past 20 years, I have been running my own communications consultancy, also working as a trilingual event show host and corporate trainer. I consider myself a local. My ethnicity is completely undetectable when I converse in Cantonese, which is the dialect used in this city. Throughout my career, I've worked across Asia, including Singapore, Taiwan, mainland China, and Malaysia, etc. Like many of you, I have made my share of cultural mistakes in these places and wished for a resource that could guide me through the nuances of each location. That's why my team and I created this course series, to help you navigate your journey in Hong Kong seamlessly. Whether you're a professional preparing to move here, a non-local student currently studying in Hong Kong, or simply curious about our work culture and business etiquette, this course is designed for you. Thank you so much for taking time to learn about working in my home city. We invite you on an exciting fast-track learning of Hong Kong and its unique workplace landscape. Now, let's start with a big question. What comes to mind when you hear Hong Kong? Many of my non-local friends are often amazed by the breathtaking skyline upon their arrival. Did you know that Hong Kong holds the record for the highest number of skyscrapers in the world? With over 9,000 high-rise buildings and more than 560 of them exceeding 40 floors. It's truly a sight to behold. Personally, I once lived on the 60th floor of a building. So yes, Hong Kong is definitely not for the faint-hearted. What might surprise you even more about this metropolis is how seamlessly nature coexists with urban life. Located at the southeastern tip of China, Hong Kong encompasses Hong Kong Island, Kowloon Peninsula, which is attached to the New Territories. We have a total of 261 outlying islands. Island hopping is a fantastic way to explore these beautiful surroundings. Many islands are easily accessible from the city. For example, Cheung Chau is one of the most popular weekend getaway destinations and is just less than 1 hour ferry ride away. For nature enthusiasts, Hong Kong is renowned for its numerous hiking trails, despite its dense population, which we will come to this point later. There are a total of 44 distinct hiking trails. A beginner-friendly option is the Victoria Peak, conveniently reachable from the central MTR station. So just imagine taking in breathtaking views and fresh air right in the heart of the city. There is an important distinction point to note, distinguishing between saying Hong Kong and Hong Kong Island. Hong Kong refers to the entire Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, while the Hong Kong Island, or sometimes we call the island side, is just one part of the geography. While the beauty of Hong Kong is captivating, it does come with its challenges. So let's break down some of the key considerations that you should be aware of. First, high living costs. Be prepared for some of the highest rental prices and living expenses in the world. Why is that so? Because Hong Kong consistently ranks amongst top 10 of the most densely populated regions globally. With around 6,900 people per square kilometer, finding affordable housing can be a daunting task. So budget wisely and start looking early. Second, fast-paced lifestyle. Get ready for a fast-paced lifestyle in Hong Kong. As a free economy and a world-leading financial center, Hong Kong is bustling with energy. I remember my first experience at age 3 when I first arrived in Hong Kong. I was so terrified to walk on the streets because everyone was moving so quickly. And here's a fun fact. Our escalators move at 0.75 meters per second, compared to just 0.65 to 0.7 meters in cities like Beijing. If you take too long to order your meal in some food outlets, you might even get side-eyed. Thirdly, religious freedom. Amidst all the hustle and bustle, Hong Kong is also a place that values diversity and freedom. Religious freedom is one of the fundamental rights enjoyed here. Our city is home to a rich tapestry of beliefs, including Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, Sikhism, and Taoism. This cultural diversity adds to the vibrancy of life here. So whether you're attending a festival or simply enjoying various religious practices around you. Next, efficient transportation. There are benefits to this fast-paced environment. Our transportation system is renowned for its efficiency. The MTR, in some places we call the subway, the underground, or the tube, connects key areas across Hong Kong Island, Kowloon, and the New Territories, with frequent trains that can whisk you across the city in under 30 minutes. And here's a quick tip. If you're in a rush, you can always get a taxi, but pay attention to the red urban taxis, green New Territory taxis, and blue Lantau taxis. So in summary, while Hong Kong offers stunning views and a vibrant lifestyle, it also represents challenges like high living costs and a rapid pace of life. But with efficient transport and a little preparation, you will be well on your way to thriving in this dynamic city. Payment methods. Ready to hop on the MTR? You can use tickets, physical octopus cards, virtual octopus cards, or even e-payments like Visa and MasterCard. Here is a pro tip. Have your octopus card ready 10 to 15 seconds before you reach the turnstiles. Fumbling at the gate is a major faux pas. Escalator etiquette. Here is a hidden rule. Stand on the right side of the escalators. The left side is for those in a hurry. If you're standing still, keep it to the right. Trust me, you will avoid some serious side-eye from the rushers. Boarding. When it's time to board, pay attention to the signage. Standing in the right spot helps everyone exit smoothly and avoids those awkward collisions. The second tip is about the unique transportation on Hong Kong Island that is over 100 years old, the tram, or we locals affectionately call it the ding-ding, just like the sound it makes. Getting on a tram, hop in from the back, no need to pay right away. Pay when you get off at the front. Enjoy the ride and take in the sights from this sentimental mode of transportation. As you can see, the beauty of Hong Kong lies in its contrasts, from the bustling urban life of the MTR to the leisurely charm of the tram ride. My favorite way to unwind from a busy workday is to hop on the ferry, which crosses the harbour. The peace and serenity is simply magical. Whether you're racing through the city or enjoying a scenic journey, there's always a balance to find between these two worlds. So gear up, stay alert, and enjoy the balance between these two worlds whenever you desire. Now imagine this. You've just confirmed your job offer and reviewed your benefits package. Exciting, right? And now you might be wondering about some important aspects of living and working in this vibrant city. What's on your mind? Are you curious about salaries, tax returns, public holidays, or the mandatory retirement fund? Today, we'll dive into these topics and give you a clearer picture of what to expect as you embark on your new journey in Hong Kong. When working in a new place, safety is often at the top of the priority list. So here's the good news. Hong Kong has one of the lowest crime rates globally. In a recent study in 2024 by Forbes Advisor, it ranks Hong Kong as the 13th safest city for travelers globally. So it's generally safe to stroll home at night, no need to look over your shoulders. And in case of accidents or emergencies, do not worry, just dial 999 for medical services that will arrive promptly or be connected with police assistance. Emergency ambulance service in Hong Kong is free of charge. Next, when you need to reach out to your embassies, Hong Kong has 63 consulates general, 51 honorary consulates, and 8 officially recognized bodies. So you're covered. On government efficiency, the Hong Kong government ranks second in global efficiency. Quick question for you. How long do you think it takes to post a letter at a local post office? In my experience, no more than just a few minutes. Understanding your rights and protections is crucial as you start your new journey in Hong Kong. Let's now break down the key components. Firstly, the legal framework. Hong Kong operates under a common law system that is distinct from the mainland of China. Under the one country, two systems principle outlined in the Basic Law, Hong Kong enjoys executive, legislative, and independent judicial powers. The Employment Ordinance is the main piece of legislation governing conditions of employment in Hong Kong. It is worth noting that if you hold a foreign passport, remember, you will need your travel documents and sometimes a visa to travel to the mainland of China. Next, on tax returns. When it's time to send in your filed tax return, you can simply drop it at the local post office or submit it online. And speaking of taxes, Hong Kong boasts a simple tax structure. A person's income from employment, minus allowable deductions and personal allowances, is chargeable at a progressive rate, ranging from 2% to a maximum of 17%, which is quite low compared to many other locations. Next, retirement fund. Now let's talk about retirement savings. The Mandatory Provident Fund, MPF in short, is a compulsory retirement savings scheme for employees. Both you and your employer contribute to this fund, ensuring you're financially secure for the future. Holidays and stay-home days. Public holidays in Hong Kong are well planned and announced well in advance, so mark your calendars, as you can usually find next year's public holidays announced more than half a year ahead. In addition to these holidays, during typhoon season, typically from summer to autumn, if typhoon signal number 8 or higher is issued, employees are not required to return physically to work until conditions improve. Same applies to rainstorm signals. The 3 levels of warning, amber, red, and black alerts, are the public's notification about potential heavy rain, and a black signal would mean no going into the office too. You might notice a quirky phenomenon during rainy weathers. We create umbrella gardens in our offices where all umbrellas are opened and neatly arranged to dry, a scene that has shocked many of my non-local friends. And here is a fun fact for you. In this financial hub, you might often hear the term 𝙖𝙗𝙤, which translates to open market. This signals when the financial market starts trading. Interestingly, Hong Kong's financial markets remain active even during severe weather conditions. The Hong Kong Exchange is committed to keeping trading open under such conditions. Talking about resilience. With this foundational understanding of employment protection in Hong Kong, you're now better equipped to navigate your new role and life in this dynamic city. Imagine you've just arrived in Hong Kong for your first day of work. What's on your mind? I remember my first work trip to Singapore many years ago. It was a true cultural shock for me. I was so surprised to see colleagues wearing sandals and spaghetti straps to the office. Definitely not typical in Hong Kong culture. We'll explore essential workplace manners that will help you navigate your new environment. Let's kick things off with business dress code. What does professionalism really entail? So here is a breakdown. Business formal is your power suit mode. Think tailored dark suit, leather shoes, and in banking, law, and other senior roles, usually a tie as well. Colors stay conservative. Black, navy, charcoal, everything that's clean, pressed, and well-fitted. If you are unsure, it is safer to start at business formal and dress down later. Business casual is one step down. You can separate your blazer and trousers. For instance, a tailored jacket with dress pants, a collared shirt or blouse, often without a tie. Colors and patterns can soften a bit. This is common in MNCs, consulting, tech, and everyday internal days when no major client meetings are scheduled. Avoid sneakers unless your company clearly allows them. Smart casual is where Hong Kong has modernized the most. Neat jeans or chinos, a simple dress or top, clean sneakers or smart flats can all work. You might see this on casual Fridays, at startups, creative teams, or at offsites. A word of warning about indoor temperature in Hong Kong. The aircon can get really cold, so do bring a blazer. When dressing for the office, avoid revealing outfits and lean towards a more conservative style. Dress codes in certain industries such as digital creation, marketing, and fashion, as well as co-work spaces are more relaxed and casual. Personal grooming matters too. Neat hair and trimmed facial hair are essential. While tattoos and piercings might be acceptable in some settings, generally they are less welcomed in the professional environments. In Hong Kong, it's also considered good practice not to wear clothing or accessories that are more expensive than what your boss wears. This reflects humility and respect within the workplace hierarchy. So here's a quick tip for you. On your first day of work, always start with your best look. Remember, respect is crucial in Asian cultures. Now, let's talk about punctuality, a cornerstone of workplace manners in Hong Kong. I would describe Hong Kong people as being on time, but seldom early. We often have so many things on our minds that we're constantly rushing from one location to the other. Let's look at the following 3 scenarios. Scenario 1, first day arrival. When should you arrive on your first day of work? Here's a tip. Aim to arrive slightly earlier than the start time. 10 to 15 minutes would be quite ideal. Do not arrive, say, 60 minutes before the office starts because no one might be there to receive you. Scenario 2. What time should you arrive on regular work days? Here's a tip. Always be on time. If you foresee being late, notify your manager as soon as possible. Scenario 3. Say a work meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. When should you arrive? The answer is be prompt and arrive before your boss unless you have urgent matters to attend to. And do make sure to communicate this beforehand. What all these imply is that we are on a linear timing. Time is an important resource. In Hong Kong, punctuality reflects respect. Arriving late or missing deadlines can be seen as disrespectful, similar to cultural norms in, say, Germany. And if you're late, make sure to communicate your reasons. A big question for your first day at work. How do you greet your colleagues? Here are 3 tips for you on physical touch. Hugging, cheek kissing, or body contact is generally avoided in Hong Kong. Handshakes. Not everyone enjoys a handshake in Hong Kong, and when it is done, Hong Kongers' handshakes tend to be less firm than those of their Western counterparts. When meeting a group of people, identify the senior members, greeting them in order of rank. Next, on personal space, maintain about 10 to 15 centimeters while walking alongside someone. So before we wrap up, here are 2 quick etiquette tips. Always receive business cards with both hands. It shows respect. And keep your lunch date open on your first day. Don't pack lunch. Bonding over food can foster connections. While Hong Kong has internalized some of the more Western values than some of our surrounding neighbors in Asia, conservative and traditional Chinese values are very ingrained in our business and work culture. Did you learn something interesting compared to the common practices from your culture? We'd love to hear about your experiences in Hong Kong. Do share your thoughts with us. 大家好, hello everyone. Here's a fun question for you. Can you name an interesting street name from your city? In Hong Kong, we have a street called Lily Street. Sounds ordinary, right? But the Chinese characters actually means Lotus Street. Confused? Me too. In fact, bilingual individuals often navigate this complexity effortlessly. For example, while you might read and write in both languages fluently, it can be confusing when street names like Lily Street don't translate perfectly into Chinese characters. The name 莲花 suggests lotus, leading to a delightful confusion about whether it should be called Lotus Street or Lily Street. So if you do visit Hong Kong, make sure to check out Lily Street. Speaking of names, our English names can be quite colorful. In the business world, English names are commonly used, so much more so than our Chinese names. Unlike, say, Singaporeans, who might use anglicized versions of their names, many locals in Hong Kong stick with English names at work or in email correspondences. So, where do our English names come from? Most of us will choose common names, while some will get creative with names like apple, candy, cherry, or kinky. So if someone greets you on your first day with these delightful names, don't worry, they're not asking you for fruit or sweets. That's simply who they are. While locals prefer reading Chinese, if you ask them, many of them would prefer writing in English though, as English is the more commonly used language in a business context, and hence we do have more practice. You will also find that we speak in a mix of both languages in the same sentence. Now let's dive into language use in business. The primary language. English serves as the primary language for emails, documents, or presentations. However, locals often prefer reading in Chinese. Here's a presentation quirk. It's amusing that while we may prepare our PowerPoints in English, it's not unusual to switch to Cantonese during the actual presentations. In day-to-day interactions, we blend Cantonese and English depending on the company culture. Many locals are comfortable using English, especially in meetings. So here's a fun tip. If you hear a colleague say to you, 'Apple喺 pantry,' can you guess what they mean? You're right, it means apple is in the pantry and not the fruit. Now, let's talk about communication styles. Imagine you meet a colleague in the pantry and you see her drop something on the floor. You offer to help and she says, 'Thanks, it's okay.' What does she really mean? In Hong Kong, this phrase often carries a humble connotation. It doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't want assistance. Rather, it reflects a polite humility. If you do pick it up for her, just ensure that you handle it discreetly. I once heard a non-local friend complain about their Hong Kong counterparts as not being able to just say what's on their mind, like simply saying yes or no directly. This highlights how high-context communication works here. Many messages are implied rather than stated outright. In Hong Kong, we experience both direct and nuanced communication styles. This duality reflects our efficient communication in professional settings versus a more layered interaction in personal contexts rooted in our cultural values of humility and respect. The intricacies of our bilingual environment often lead to amusing translation mishaps, like the street names that do not quite match their meanings, highlighting the delightful confusion that comes with being truly bilingual. Here are some other communication style tips of the day on exchanging social media accounts. So if your colleague asks you for your Instagram handle, feel free to share if you feel comfortable doing so. And interestingly, many in Hong Kong treat Instagram or Facebook as a work posting platform, sharing their work, reflecting Hong Kong's competitive society. And next, on after-hour messaging. Don't be surprised if your team's WhatsApp lights up after work hours. Whether to reply depends on context and your own boundaries. The key is always be open to communicate your preferences. Let's learn some fun facts about Cantonese. Can you guess what taxi means? Yes, it translates to taxi. In Cantonese, we have many loan words from English. The next one. What about add oil? It directly translates to 加油, meaning, come on, you can do it. So next time when a colleague tells you to add oil, don't mistake it for literally adding oil or fuel. So now, let's add oil. Let's kick things off with a question. Say when you're invited to a welcome lunch at work, who pays for it? Before we dive into etiquette, let's explore the rich food culture of Hong Kong. Dining in Hong Kong is not just about the food. It reflects social hierarchies and cultural values. So in Chinese culture, dining etiquette is deeply influenced by Confucian beliefs, emphasizing respect and harmony. That's why Chinese banquet tables are round in shape. And also say, for instance, sharing tables with strangers is completely normal in local eateries. While this might feel uncomfortable for some people, it's actually a norm here. You will find that even though you're at the same table, you remain strangers. And it's also considered quite rude to interrupt their conversations. Hong Kong's culinary landscape is a vibrant blend of Eastern and Western influences. So here are some key aspects to know. Culinary diversity. Hong Kong is a melting pot of cultures, featuring a wide variety of cuisines. In 2025 alone, 76 restaurants earned Michelin stars, showcasing the city's culinary excellence. Next, morning staples. For breakfast, locals often opt for fresh choices like bread from bakeries paired with milk tea. Very good. Or classic meals from 𝙃𝙤𝙤𝙘, a popular local eatery in Hong Kong. My personal favorite is the pineapple bun, 𝙃𝙤𝙤𝙅, but guess what? It does not contain pineapples. Next up, lunch culture. Lunch habits vary significantly. Some people prefer quick bites, while others enjoy leisurely meals. The rigidity of lunch hours are completely dependent on company policies, while many people do love to venture out for meals with colleagues, and this is a big contrast with the Western happy hour bonding. On networking opportunities, if you're looking to network or meet clients, lunches or early dinners are often the best options. When dining with clients, choose a Western-style venue to convey professionalism and sophistication, and choose a Chinese-style venue to convey friendliness and bonding. On dinner meetings typically take place at restaurants. Home invites are rare in Hong Kong due to our limited living space. This differs from many Western cultures where home dining is more common. So if you are invited to someone's home, they do treat the relationship really seriously. And also a reminder when you enter any Hong Kong homes to please take off your shoes at the door or change to slippers. Now, let's address some practical concerns some of you may have regarding dietary needs. Hong Kong's culinary scene caters to various dietary preferences, including halal and vegetarian options. Many restaurants offer both Western and Eastern vegetarian dishes. For those seeking specific dietary items like oatmeal or gluten-free products, our local supermarkets provide ample choices. However, specialty items may require visits to some higher-end stores or online marketplace. Before we wrap up, remember our initial question about welcoming lunches? My answer would be, if it's your manager inviting you to it, usually he or she treats you. And if you're joining a team, usually they will share your fair share. So please do remember though, first, express your gratitude. Always thank your host for the welcome lunch. And second, mind your manners. Observe the proper table etiquette throughout the meal. So by understanding these aspects of Hong Kong's food culture, you will navigate workplace dining with ease and confidence. So now, what about if the welcome lunch is at a dim sum lunch? What would you do? All right, can you guess where we are now? That's right, it's a dim sum restaurant. One unique aspect of Hong Kong's food culture is dim sum, which is fundamentally about sharing. Dim sum literally translates to touching the heart. What a cute and moving name. Here is my non-local friend Alex's experience at a dim sum place. In his first week in Hong Kong, Alex eagerly joined his team, who are all locals, for a traditional dim sum lunch. So excited to explore the culinary delights, Alex confidently decided to order a dish entirely for himself, a generous portion of steamed sweet buns. As the food arrives, his colleagues' eyes widen in shock because dim sum dining culture actually centers around sharing, and Alex's choice disrupted the communal spirit. Thankfully, his colleagues gently explained the etiquette, and Alex, who was oblivious to the faux pas in the first place, realized his mistake, and he made it a point to tell all his family and friends visiting Hong Kong about this. So dining at a dim sum place involves certain etiquette rules that reflect social hierarchies. The first is ordering food. The most senior person, or the boss, typically places the order. Junior team members can suggest dishes, but they should really avoid selecting the most expensive items unless being invited. Rinsing utensils. Always rinse your cup and bowl with tea before use. Beginning the meal. Wait for the host to signal before starting your meal. Chopsticks and utensils. Proper chopsticks usage is essential. If you need forks or other utensils, simply ask politely. Many dim sum restaurants provide shared utensils like serving chopsticks or spoons. If you're eating alone or with your close family, you could use your chopsticks for picking up food from the shared dishes. However, in larger groups or formal settings, stick to the etiquette of using shared utensils. Tea etiquette. When someone pours tea for you, gently knock your fingers on the table as a sign of gratitude. This symbolizes a person bowing. Pouring tea hierarchy. The most junior person at the table should pour tea for the whole group. Refilling tea. If you open the lid of the teapot, it signals to the server that you need a refill. And here are some common mistakes to avoid at a dim sum table. First, do not spin the table. Avoid playing with or spinning the table. It is considered rude. Who pays the bill? Traditionally, the senior person pays. While at family dim sum meals, it is quite common in Chinese culture for diners to fight for the bill, creating a friendly dispute over whose treat it is. Next, avoid ordering 7 dishes. In Chinese dining culture, never order 7 dishes. 4, 6, or 8 is good. 7 is considered unlucky, and desserts do not count. Be mindful of dietary restrictions. Pay special attention to dietary preferences. Dim sum may contain pork oil, even in dishes that don't include pork. So be sure to ask about halal and vegetarian options. For those seeking halal options, head to the 𝙃𝙤𝙣𝙜, where the Islamic Center canteen serves the most authentic halal dim sum in Hong Kong. It's a fantastic example of how the city accommodates diverse culinary needs. By following these guidelines, you can navigate dim sum dining with confidence and respect for tradition, ensuring an enjoyable experience for everyone at the table. Let's kick things off with a fun question. Who gets into the taxi first? So picture this. You and your colleagues are in a taxi queue, waiting to get from the office to a client's office. The taxi arrives. Who should hop on first? The answer might surprise you, and I'm going to hold the suspense for a little while. So in Hong Kong, this seemingly simple scenario reflects deeper cultural nuances about seniority and respect. In Hong Kong, seniority is deeply ingrained in workplace culture, defined by roles, age, and experience. So age and experience command a significant higher respect, leading to a dynamics where younger employees are generally expected to defer to their elders. Now, what if you're younger but you hold a higher position? While people will respect your role, they will still expect you to show deference to those who are older to you. For instance, during a dim sum lunch, it is customary to listen to experience sharing from your senior colleagues. So while business decisions are influenced by roles, age remains crucial. Even with seniority in place, addressing your superiors can vary. When you're at government and statutory bodies, typically names are not directly addressed, so use surnames instead to address individuals. For example, Mr. Chan. In family offices, similar to government settings, we use surnames. For example, Ms. Wong. When you encounter clients from mainland China, do address them by their surname. Instead of Mr. or Miss, we use their job title for added respect. For example, Mr. Lee, the director of ABC Company. We will address that person as Director Lee. So in business contexts, addressing someone by their first name, especially if they're more senior, may be perceived as slightly disrespectful. Yet in multinational companies, this is the de facto way of addressing each other. Let's explore different scenarios to better understand how seniority plays out in the workplace in Hong Kong. Scenario 1. Sharing of ideas. If you have a brilliant idea related to your expertise, who do you approach at work? Well, if you're a relatively junior employee, you would not share directly to the CEO. Instead, ideas should be communicated through your direct manager, so this highlights the importance of hierarchy in decision-making. Scenario 2. Voicing opinions at meetings. Imagine you're in a meeting where your VP downscales an idea you believe in. Should you voice your opinion? In Hong Kong's work culture, open dialogue from junior staff is actually quite rare. Collaboration often takes a backseat as respect for senior prevails. Although there is a gradual shift towards a more inclusive discussion, it is still quite common for juniors to have limited airtime in meetings. So back to our taxi question, the answer is quite clear. The most senior person in the group should enter the taxi first. This practice reflects the cultural values surrounding seniority and respect. It is not just about who gets in first. It's really a demonstration of deference to those with more experience or in high positions. So if you're in a situation where you're waiting for a taxi with your boss or with your senior colleagues, be sure to let them go ahead of you. It's a small gesture that goes a long way in showing respect for hierarchical structure that is so prevalent in Hong Kong's work culture. Having said that, the seniority seen in Hong Kong may not strictly apply to all organizations and companies due to our diverse business landscape. We have over 9,000 foreign affiliated companies and over 350,000 small and medium enterprises, and family offices account to roughly 2,700. So adapting to the specific culture of your workplace would be quite essential. Take time to observe and understand the dynamics at play before fully engaging with the hierarchy. By grasping these cultural nuances around seniority and communication styles in Hong Kong's workplaces, you will be better equipped to navigate your new professional environment with confidence and respect. Welcome back! Let's kick off with the story of my friend Richard. When he first visited Hong Kong, he was very eager to try some local delicacies and went ahead to get a cocktail bun, 𝙃𝙤𝙤𝙇 𝙤𝙤. To his surprise, he discovered that this bun had nothing to do with cocktails or alcoholic beverages. Instead, it features a delightful mix of sweet coconut filling, showcasing the creativity of Hong Kong's culinary scene. This playful naming convention is a hallmark of Hong Kong's food culture, where dishes often carry names that don't directly correspond to the ingredients, in the same way that the cocktail bun surprises newcomers with its flavors. Navigating professional relationships in Hong Kong can be equally nuanced. Many people perceive Cantonese as a direct language. But is it really? Unlike Japanese, which incorporates layers of respect through polite forms and humble expressions, Cantonese lacks a strict hierarchy of seniority. For instance, in 普通话, you have 你 for informal and 您 for formal situations. But in Cantonese, there is only one, 你, you, for all ranks and age and gender. It's always a challenge for newcomers in the city to learn to decode. Cantonese tends to be more straightforward. However, this does not mean that it's always blunt. The language is concise and often employs colloquial expressions to convey strong opinion or emotions directly. Understanding these nuances is crucial for building professional relationships in Hong Kong. Navigating conversations in a professional setting can be tricky. So here are some scenarios to help you understand what to say and what to avoid. First off, discussing mistakes. So imagine your colleagues mention that they may need to work quite a lot of overtime because a project deadline has not been met. So instead of making humor or sarcastic comments to lighten up the situation, saying things like, "Looks like you're in big trouble," you should instead try to empathize with their situation because they may genuinely want to express their struggles. My quick tip is always to use positive communication. Respond with encouragement or constructive suggestions. Scenario 2, providing feedback. When evaluating a project or noticing areas for improvement amongst your subordinates or your colleagues, remember that Cantonese communication can be nuanced. So what you should not say is, try your best to avoid blunt statements like, "This is really bad." What you should say is to frame your feedback constructively, focus on growth and improvement while being respectful. Up next, personal conversations. In private conversations about sensitive topics like marriage or salary, remember that marriage discussions are more open compared to salary inquiries, which are generally considered very private. So instead of delving into personal matters, engage in light conversation about shared interests or general topics to foster connection without crossing boundaries. When engaging in small talk, consider safe topics such as travel, weekend activities, recent news and current affairs, movies, or even what's on Netflix. If you are new to Hong Kong, a great conversation starter could be asking about the difference between 唔該 and 多謝. While both mean thank you, 多謝 expresses a deeper gratitude, like for a meal, whereas 唔該 is usually used for smaller acts of kindness, like someone helping you pick something up. Now, let's talk about gift-giving norms in Hong Kong, an essential aspect of building professional relationships. Gift-giving comes with its own set of rules. First off, what are some inappropriate gifts? Certain items are considered bad luck or inappropriate, such as clocks, cutting tools, sharp objects, and umbrellas. Next, red packets. During the first 15 days of the Lunar New Year, it's customary to give out red packets containing cash to those who work for you. This gesture symbolizes goodwill and prosperity. Festive gifts. Traditional gifts like mooncakes during the Mid-Autumn Festival or year cakes during Chinese New Year are common and appreciated. Farewell gifts, 散水餅. On your last day at work, it is customary to give your colleagues 散水餅, translating to goodbye cakes, as a farewell gift. This tradition signifies your departure while leaving sweet memories for your colleagues. In Hong Kong, it's crucial to differentiate between appropriate gifting and bribery. While red packets during Lunar New Year are acceptable as tokens of goodwill, gifts that could be perceived as attempts to influence decisions, such as cash or overly extravagant items, are frowned upon and often illegal to do. Always avoid crossing ethical and legal boundaries. Effective networking strategies can help you build valuable professional relationships in Hong Kong. There is, in fact, no lack of events, conferences, or exhibitions around the year in this city. For local events and conferences, Hong Kong hosts numerous industry-specific events, expos, and seminars throughout the year. Attending these gatherings is invaluable for meeting professionals in your field. Consider participating in events hosted by organizations such as the various chambers of commerce or industry-specific conferences. Professional associations. Joining local professional groups can significantly enhance your networking efforts. These organizations often provide resources for career development and opportunities for business collaboration. By understanding these cultural nuances around professional relationships and communication styles in Hong Kong's workplace, and employing effective networking strategies, you'll be better equipped to navigate your new environment with confidence and respect. As the saying goes, in business, it's not what you know, it's who you know and who knows you. Every connection you make can open doors to new opportunities. As we wrap up our journey through the vibrant culture of Hong Kong, let's take a look at some social etiquette that would help you navigate this bustling metropolis. Think of it as your ultimate guide to avoiding those awkward moments we all dread. Today, we'll cover some essential do's and don'ts that will have you mingling like a local in no time. Alright, before we start, let's have a quick fun test on some assumptions that you might have for Hong Kong. Do you know what is the spoken language in Hong Kong? Bingo! It's Cantonese. Next question. Do you know what blackface means? A tip, it's a notable cultural aspect that you will see at local 𝙃𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. Time's up! Blackface 𝙃𝙤𝙤𝙆 is a unique expression that you can only hear in Cantonese. It means an expressionless and slightly indifferent face. When you see people blackface, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're mad. It's just a daily composed demeanor. It might turn out that they could be very friendly if you reach out and speak with them. Surprise, surprise! Next question. Do you bring your partner to company events or happy hour? It might surprise you that Hong Kong people relatively rarely bring their spouse or partners to company events. We only do so on family days or specific occasions, as we tend to keep our family and work circle relatively separate. Next question. Can you drink tap water in Hong Kong? The answer is no. Our tap water is not drinkable. Please remember to boil or filter it or buy them from the store. And also, don't drink the water that's handed to you as you're seated at a 𝙃𝙤𝙤𝙤. That glass of water usually has the same function as in a dim sum place. It's for rinsing your utensils. Now, I would like to share 5 essential Cantonese phrases for you to get around and get started. First off, 你好 means hello. 你好 means hello. Second, 多謝 means thank you for a gift or a service. 多謝. Next, 唔該 means thank you for a small favor. 唔該. The next one, 點解 means why. 點解. Next, bye bye. Isn't that straightforward and easy enough? It means goodbye. Adapting to a completely new and diverse workplace may put you in both struggles and learnings. My go-to approach has always been to positively communicate. Being approachable and engaging helps bridge cultural gaps and build strong relationships. Always, a smile can go a long way. It's like a universal passcode that opens doors for you. Second is to embrace the challenge. So instead of viewing challenges as roadblocks, see them as opportunities for growth. Take small steps each day to immerse yourself in the culture and workplace dynamics. Whether it's trying out new food or learning a few Cantonese phrases, every little effort counts. Finally, perspective taking. Understanding that everyone brings unique strengths to the table. Utilize your strengths while being open to learning from each other. Embrace every interaction with an open mind and a willingness to learn. After all, every connection is an opportunity to growth. As you embark on this exciting working journey in Hong Kong, don't forget to enjoy the fun parts of being here. With Hong Kong being centrally located in Asia, you have easy getaways to North Asia and Southeast Asia locations. So, go out there, make new friends, and enjoy the delightful blend of cultures that Hong Kong has to offer. Hopefully, see you in Hong Kong soon!